So, it's been a couple days since I last spoke or filmed or whatever, and there's a couple things that has been happening. All of it in regards to positivity, I guess. I just got a shower. I am doing day 2 of taking care of the babies, which is Ty and Chili. So they're currently roaming around. This little guy is down here. The other one is over there. And we are getting ready for the day. I had to give Ty his little, I think it's a dewormer. So that was cool. Over the course of the couple days, I've done some interesting things. Let's do this thing all over again. Also, my cabinet, not fell, but it was going to fall. So the landlord came and took it out. So they're gonna fix it. So I had to put all my stuff here. On that note though, over the course of the past couple days, I have been trying to prepare myself for the upcoming semester in regards to my teaching and my syllabi and all that mumbo jumbo stuff. I have a general understanding of what I'm going to be teaching for next semester for all universities or colleges or whatever you want to call them. But for the other 2 universities, colleges, I have not gotten my confirmation or whatever. I've only gotten it from Wayne State, even though I know which classes I'm technically getting or whatever. So it's kind of weird, but at the same time, I think it does say on there that you'll get them 30 days before the semester starts or something like that. I don't know, for adjuncts. So we'll wait, even though I kind of already know. But in the same line of all that other mumbo jumbo stuff, I ended up proposing to call for papers, and I am pretty excited. They are kind of sort of in the same realm, but different context, and that is being a multilingual individual. Sorry. A multilingual individual in the world of academia, and what does that embody, what does that entail. And so it is kind of in the aspect of identity and the aspect of belonging and the aspect of concepts of devaluation or whatever, or probably the imposter syndrome aspect of things. I have a general understanding. I've been reading theoretically what that embodies and what that means for multilingual and probably immigrant and first generation students. I've been doing a lot of reading because of that, for that, and for individual purposes, and then on top of that for the qualifying exams as part of the whole gist. The other major thing that has been happening, even though I don't know when I'm going to technically post this, is that yesterday, which was the 23rd, several instances happened, but the primary thing is that NCTE decided to, I don't know, rally together and say that they're trying to make the 4Cs conference disappear. I don't know what's up with that. Supposedly today, the 24th, they are going to have an executive committee or whatever, executive member committee, I think, and we'll see how that goes. But apparently, long story short, they just, because one day decided to wake up on the wrong side of the bed, they decided to strip them or kill it or whatever, and a lot of people were upset and a lot of people were confused, me primarily too, because it kind of sucks. Yeah, no, man, that's kind of sucks. I kind of wish that's not going to happen. I hope it doesn't happen. I hope that 4Cs continues, especially because when I went last year for the first time ever, it was really cool. I was able to meet Sarah, Fisher, Megan, Joanne, and the list goes on. And what the hell? Obviously, I wanted to present at some point, not just be a spectator. But now the possibility of that not happening is there. And so that kind of sucks. I did manage to get approved to be a book reviewer. So I am going to be reviewing a generative AI book. Not that it was written by generative AI, but it embodies generative AI. And I'm going to pick it up right now. But essentially, I am proposing, or I am pitching this one. So, AI in Writing, second edition by Sydney Dobrin. And I'm gonna read it and write my review and the whole general gist of things. And I'm pretty excited. The other exciting thing in general is that I have to say that over the past couple weeks, or like a week or two, I don't even know at this point, I've did a couple things. First and foremost, I ended up actually being active on LinkedIn and trying to build a voice or a sense of expertise, I guess, in the line of AI, and in the line of intellectualism, and in the line of being a graduate student and just, voicing my voice. I don't know whether people are enjoying it or not. I don't know if I come off as dumb, but I do know that I'm one of those people that I don't personally believe I have anything important to say, so I would never say it. But then if I continue with that mindset, then I'm never gonna do anything. And so I ended up pushing myself to end up writing and to end up posting and to end up putting an opinion based on the stuff I've been reading and articles I've just come with. And so far so good, I think, but it's still kind of iffy. I am kind of having fun, but yeah, the imposter syndrome, or the you're too stupid to say anything syndrome, is there in regards to should I post this? Do people care? What about if I come off dumb or stupid? And so that's gonna be a forever thing. And lastly, the other thing that I did is over the course of the week, I ended up revamping my whole entire YouTube in every way, shape, or form from the previous 50 videos that I have. All of the captions were embedded, subtitles, all of the descriptions were changed, the hashtags, the thumbnails, the whole line of things was updated and adapted to be more modern. I don't know. So right now we decided, well, not right now, I think I've been here for almost 2 hours. I'm not really sure, to be perfectly honest, but we decided to leave the house and come to the Congregation, which is our coffee shop, because I wanted to take them out, and then also because they were kind of sort of overwhelming me at home. And I don't know if that's because I'm on edge, or if it's because I feel like I needed it to get some work done, or leave the house to get some work done. So I opted to do that. And so far it's working out great. There was a couple little kids that were coming and play with them, which is kind of cool and kind of fun. But they're kind of a little bit special in terms of Chili keeps wrapping himself around, and it's oh God. But I think right now, in a bit, we're going to end up going back home, because it's getting relatively hot, to be honest. And then, not for me, but probably for them, even though I brought their cooling mat. But right now I'm doing some grading. My students ended up finishing project number 3, which is the oppositions essay, which technically they're supposed to get their villain character and have the opposition, and then they're supposed to, create a problem and blah blah. And so I did majority of the grading for all of them for the past couple days or whatever. But I tend to grade it. Let's say I grade them on Friday, and then on Saturday I grade part of them on Friday, and then on Saturday I grade the other part, and then I rest on it, and then Sunday I recheck everything, make sure that I wasn't hangry or something like that, and then I turn in the grades. So right now I'm in the process of vetting everything, typing out some final comments if I had any, because I got a new perspective or whatever, and then I'm finalizing the grades and turning them in, because tomorrow we go back to class. After a monumental amount of time, I am finally back at Wayne State. And then you're like, do you even go there anymore? Jesus, yeah, I do. But that's too much to go into a singular video because the explanation is way too long. But I digress. Today we're here because we are going to the student center. That's where I'm headed right now. And we are going to meet with Tisha or Tish. And we are going to have, not necessarily like a study session. We are going to talk about business in regards to hers and how she can mentor me on establishing my own business. But look at it, it looks nice. Honestly though, I feel like I prefer the snow aesthetic more than this aesthetic. It's also kind of cool to see how this place is just like dead when there's like nobody here in the summer. But like when you're here in spring and fall or whatever, it is packed. Like Jesus Christ. But I don't know if it's like as packed or if like San Diego State was even more packed. I'm not sure, but we'll see. We're gonna situate ourselves at the Starbucks that is in here. I don't even know if they're open. I don't even know if the girly pops are gonna be there, but assuming that they are, we'll figure that out. So I'll see you in a bit. So again, I am going through the stereotypical route of going to Tech Town, Detroit. But unfortunately for me and for, I guess, Next Energy, today is kind of my final day at working at Next Energy in the internship. And right now I'm on my way there because I am going to give my intern presentation where I say what I did for them and how I did it and like what I learned and yada yada. And that's essentially it, having like a lunchathon or whatever it's called. So it's been a whole day. We ended up now at home, and yesterday, technically the real timeline is that my internship ends on August 1st with Next Energy. But they are a Monday through Thursday organization, and yesterday was Thursday, and yesterday was my final day working at Next Energy, and so it is over. I ended up doing my presentation. Hopefully they are happy with everything that had happened. Unfortunately, the presentation, I didn't really film it correctly per se, but it did show like a general premise of what I wanted to show. So with that being said, now we're back to our plain old self in regards to existing. But there's a couple things that have been happening on my end of the stick, and that is predominantly the fact that, first of all, for the first time, well, ever, because I just got here, I voted for this primary, I think, and so I'm happy about that. I like took a photo with my sticker saying that I voted, and then now I literally just now got done applying to a proposal, like call for papers for a presentation or like a workshop, I think it's called. And the workshop is for the TCWCC proposal, which is in the Metropolitan Community College in Omaha. I don't know how that was going to go per se, but I did pitch it, I did send it, and basically my proposal, essentially my elevator pitch is that I said, because I just told Mallory about this, so I'm just going to read it verbatim. I did a proposal that talked about how we expect students to lose their creativity side of their personality and come into an academic setting and learn how to write academically. So I proposed a 4-project world building sequence that essentially moves the students from character and setting to the textbook research, argument, and real world problem solving essays that we do now. Basically, the whole session should technically show how imaginative writing can make an academic conversation more approachable while helping students develop one connected body of work instead of completing 4 disconnected assignments. So the transfer should be smooth and without a problem, and they are able to learn what they need to learn with the creative aspects of things. So, yes, we teach ethos, pathos, logos. We understand that concept. We know about it. But these students are essentially, I am their first iteration of a college slash university life. And so, because of that, they tend to be scared about writing. They believe they're not good writers. And so, what better way to embody their comfort or establish rapport if you essentially just make a creative writing, fun aesthetic of things. And so far, it's been working. That's one of the foundations that I did this semester, and a lot of my students are enjoying it. And they are struggling in terms of like, dang, how do I make this happen? So the critical thinking is there, and they're enjoying it and they're loving it. So there's no point of having them write about dirt if it's going to be boring and they're not going to learn anything. Right now, from what it seems and from what I can see, they are learning something. That's a lot easier said than done. And because of that, the issue is that I don't really know how to go about it. So I'm going to work on it for this couple upcoming week and see what's up. I also promised my I've been promising for a hot minute to my students that I have to grade the project number 3, and I haven't. Technically I have, but I just haven't input their grades or like their feedback, even though I kind of sort of have it already. So I guess I can technically do that right now. I also have to continue reading my QE list and establish all that. So there is that. But we'll be back, I guess. Say hi. Hi. We are in the car. Look at the little babies. Look at the little babies. Babies. Babos. They're playing. But anyhow, we went to go get some food from Unburger, which is like a vegetarian, and here it's a vegetarian or vegan or I don't even know restaurant that embodies all things vegetarian.
It's
so
like Plant Power back home.
Yeah, Plant Power back in California. It has burgers, fries, etc., etc. Anyhow, with that being said, I did mention that I was going to grade my students' papers and give them their feedback and everything, and that completely went to like outside the window because I ended up doing my proposal for the calls call for proposals or call for papers for one conference, and then I texted Mallory and then I was like, "Hey Mal, are you gonna apply to this proposal?" And I thought we were in the same conversation, and then it turns out that we were in completely different conversations in regards to which proposal we were talking about. And then she was like, "Oh, I thought we were talking about this one." And then I ended up looking at that one, and then I was like, "Oh, damn." And so I originally turned in the one that I was supposed to do, and then I was like, maybe I should also pitch for this one. And so I started to write it, and then I started to help Mallory with hers. And then afterwards, I was like, wait, both of our things kind of look cool. We can probably like mesh them and like do a joint proposal and go together. And I went on through this like tangent of like writing the document and my idea and the concept, and then I was bothering her all day, and then poor soul was doing her like, I think she's working for the city in regards to like the voting ballot, and so she's taking people's votes and whatever. And so she got off of that, and I was like, I need you to stop having life and like do the proposal or look at the proposal. And she was like, okay. So she added her edits and whatnot, and so I'm pretty excited. But I mean, obviously there's more to it, but unfortunately for that, we don't have that much time because of the fact that we have to turn it in on August 3rd, and it's currently the 30th. So not much leeway there, to be perfectly honest. But the good thing about it though is that we did have a good chunk of it, and it was pretty cool that it just like intertwined or like lined up with each other super like well. So essentially what's happening is that the proposal has to embody like a sense of feeling, like how a student feels when they write or where they use creative writing in order to write something. Mallory is doing this semester, or I believe last semester, I'm not sure, she is doing a narrative perspective on creative writing where she is teaching her students, because I believe her students are game designers. So she is saying like, oh, I'm teaching my students how to do narrative or like English narrative writing, creative writing, into transitioning it to video game adaptation and what it means to like apply it to different audiences, and understanding that some people will contextualize it differently and blah blah blah. So we are proposing like a workshop in regards to like how it will fit together. And so I am saying that I'm looking at my notes. So essentially Mallory's assignment is like, how do the choices about media forms and narrative branches shape what writers and the audience feel? And then my perspective is, how does attachment develop into curiosity, discomfort, perspective talking, research, and action? And then essentially our central claim for both would be like, instructors can design for feeling both within an individual creative activity and across an entire course sequence. Mallory's job is essentially going to be to help the participant examine how reactive choices shape emotional experience with an assignment, and then I'm going to help I'm going to help the participants trace how those emotional relationships can develop into inquiry and action across the connected sequence. So it doesn't really feel like a one and done situation. It's more of like, how does it transfer? How does a writerly agency go across platforms, and like how you can either manipulate or help the emotional aspect of the student. So we are kind of working on that, but right now we're just deep diving into that thing. So I'm pretty excited. I tossed everything out the window, but you know, it's for good reason. It's not like I'm wasting my time. You know what I mean? So probably tomorrow I'm gonna edit the papers, or I don't know, but sorry students if you're watching my videos. I legit, I'm pretty done with them, but you know. Okay. Bye. So it's been a while since we talked, especially because the last time we talked I was in a car and we were on our way to do some shopping, I guess. And then also I was talking about like the whole project with Mallory, and I was talking about the call for proposal for that and all that. But I just want to say that we actually turned it in, and we ended up pitching it, and now we have to wait because the deadline was yesterday, I believe, and so that's squared out or whatever, fine and dandy. So today is Tuesday, August 4th, and I've been very productive over the past couple days in regards to like trying to read my QE list and trying to embody what it is that I have to understand and synthesize and conceptualize. And I have like a word bank list of things that I've been doing. So that's fine and fun to some extent. I am still dealing with the whole consequence of like never studying in my life and like having to highlight everything because I think highlighting everything is important or whatever. So that's kind of crappy, but you know, it is what it is to some extent. I guess it's better to have those highlighted than to not have them. I don't know. But today, I have been working on the context of like the video that I want to post. And then like I've been actually editing it, but the reason why I haven't uploaded it is because I'm still gonna add a little bit more to the video, but not a lot because it's already like at 33 minutes, and so I have to condense it. But today we are going to take the little doggies out to their first iteration of training. Last week, it was supposed to be their first time training. unfortunately, the trainer got sick and she canceled. So we are going today. And so I want to take them and show you guys and, add a little bit of snippet here and there. And then the next video, we're going to actually get down to the nitty gritty of business of what's been happening on my end. But until then, I'm going to shut up now and then try to trim this video down more and see what's up later on. So unfortunately, even though I said that I was going to record at the training, I didn't record because I didn't want to make it awkward or unconsensual, I guess, for the trainer to not approve of her getting recorded. But maybe next time I'll ask. But with that being said, I will show you I think it was like the 3 little tricks that they learned, which is like the standard sit or whatever. But let's try to do it. Chili.
Oh, there goes the other one.
Good. Yes. All right. Wait. Hold on. They're greedy. Oh, you see, you already said yes. Shelly, sit. Yes. And then focus. Yes. You guys are greedy. Focus. Yes. No, not you, Chili. This is tough. Hold on. Yes. There you go. Touch. Yes.
Yay.
Yay. So you guys are learning. And so slow and steady wins the race. And it's funny because I want them to be service animals. Oh, service dogs. And we're barely we're barely on that. On another note, because this video is gonna be showing the previous thing, at the beginning of the video, they took off my shelving because it was like falling. And now, like an hour ago or 2, he came in and fixed it. So now we have it again. So that's cool. Other than that, I guess this is my little buys for this video. So
because Sandy is gonna go get a haircut.
Oh yeah, Sandy
cut my hair.
Sandy's getting a haircut because she wants to cut it herself, but that's like
not okay. He said, according to him.
It's not okay psychologically.
It's because it's hot. It's very long. It gets everywhere. I'm running. I'm going to class, and I just can't.
So she has pretty long hair. I think it reaches like all the way to like almost her butt, if not her butt. And so we'll see what she decides to do. But on that note, we're closing out the video. So hi, if you're new here, my name is Manuel Gonzalez Velasco. I am a almost second year PhD student here at Wayne State University. I'm in the English department. I am part of the whole Rhetoric and composition with an emphasis in science and technology, and my specialty is generative AI and post-secondary education. If you're new here, this whole YouTube channel has to embody the life of a PhD student. Week in the life, whether you see me crashing out or having a good time, you get to see the ups, the downs, the lefts, and the rights, and hopefully you continue to venture with me as we go on and on into our PhD. If you're returning, thank you for coming back, thank you for watching, and we'll talk to each other next week. I was gonna start recording, but I guess.